Good morning, everyone. Oh, wow. It's been a long time since I've felt the emotions I'm feeling today. And I just wanted to hop on and, talk a little bit about how easy it is to get caught up in life, lose sight of things we used to be or how we used to be, although we don't want to stay in a lot of those places. But yesterday I got a phone call, well, not a phone call, a text. And the young gal said to me, I feel like I'm dying. But yet her first sentence was, I'm having an enlightenment. And so many times when I get on, I do fear saying things that offend somebody, with a specific belief system, whatever. But to me, a belief is just something you attach to. It's still not who you truly are, for me. Now, that's for me. But we go through everything in life and we die a little bit each day to either an old pattern, an old belief system, an old thought process. We're always dying to something. But she felt totally like she had died. She's dying. And we are so cultured. And hi, Miss Brenda. Nice to see ya. Well, I'd like to see you. I just see your face right now. But each day we die to something. We have to, if we're going to grow. And whether we know it or not, it might only be a cell in our body. Our cells are constantly dying and rejuvenating, all that great stuff. But today I'm in a space that I haven't been in for a while, and it's a place I started. Oh, you're kind. I'll take it though. You should talk though. It's just a peacefulness that I let go a long time ago. But we have to go through life. We have to travel this human experience. And in this human experience, we're going to have the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm not sure how to say your name, but thanks for joining. Yutai Azul is where I'm going to go with that. Mr. Gary Cambites, welcome. How are you? I so enjoyed our talk along the road the other day. You were an angel in disguise, I have to say. And I'm just going to share. So about a week ago, I was out walking, which I do a lot. I love nature. Nature is probably our greatest healing element and the most powerful thing in the world. It's not these dynamic jets and everything, although they're beautiful and all this stuff the world has created. Our most powerful thing is nature, to awaken us, to keep us intact. And then when you add to nature, I'm walking down this road, and here comes this truck, and it slowly stops. Charlene, hi, my friend. Welcome. This truck stopped, and I looked, and there was Gary Cambites. I've known Gary for some time, known him, and we stopped and had the nicest visit, and he shared pictures of his grandchildren and how he talks to his grandchildren. And Gary's gone through some pretty significant places in his life too, as I bet all of you have. And we'd like to wish them away at times. And then at other times when we've made it through, we see how strong we are and how amazing we can be in this human body. So when this young girl sent me that text yesterday and asked me if there was anybody online or doing any kind of things of blockages, because she was having a lot of blockages and it was hard to move forward in life, and in those blockages she felt like she was dying. Those are just things we go through. But something came to me that I ended up sharing with her later in the day, is that a lot of times we are those blockages. We ourselves, we get in our own way and we don't get out of the way. We're afraid to take a step in a new direction. We're afraid to let somebody new in our life. We're afraid to look at ourselves and say, okay, maybe what do I need to get rid of? what ideology, what perception, what belief system, what conditioning do I hang on to so tightly that it keeps me from growing and moving forward? And obviously she's moving forward because she also, in this crunchy time that she's having, in this place she's in of feeling like she's dying, she's also having an aware of enlightenment that's coming. She's growing, but yet in her death that she's feeling, she's aware of that. And so here's what I'd like to share about that. We really are to be the watchers of our life, of how it's going. So she's sitting back and she's feeling and thinking all these different thoughts in her mind that she's dying. Well, we are. Every day we're dying in some respects. And getting out of our own way sometimes and allowing new things to come in, new people to come into our life, opening different doors, getting rid of fear. But so many times we say stuck. We just stay stuck. And Gary, you moved me out of being stuck that day. I have to say that. I enjoyed our conversation so much. And the hugs were great. I enjoyed the hug. And it's just, we need each other as support systems. And sometimes we just hibernate, or we want to be alone, or we don't want anybody else to let anybody else in. Hey, Darwin, my new neighbor again. It's good to be back where I started. And there's another thing we do too. We give away so much of ourself to try sometimes to help others. We give away our space, we give away our time, we give away our belief systems in some respects, to help others, but they've all got to travel their own journey too. And we forget that. We're all on our own journey. And so we have to protect our space and time. After I had a significant accident when the bottom of my lip was bit off. And my singing career, my 26 years singing career, and different things happened. I had entered a lot of depression. And then 2 years after that, my son was killed in a vehicle accident. We are constantly evolving and changing, and we never know what's going to come at our door. And so friends and family are important, and not to let other people control us. Don't give away everything that you are to save someone else. Because truthfully, just like a victim that's drowning in the water, they will take you down with them. They will take you down. You will drown with them if you don't take control and keep control of your life. And so, like in the water, you've got to take control. If you got to knock that person out to get them to the shore, that's what you're going to have to do. But it's a truth. It's such a truth. And my beautiful Tessa Olson, I hope you're having a great day. I see you guys. I am so thankful for all the people in my life. I am so thankful to be growing and moving forward. But that death process, when we go through it, a lot of times we feel death because when we let go of old patterns or old ways of being or old thought processes, we get into a state of boredom. And this might sound funny, but it's true. Things become quiet around us. And we feel like we're dying because our interests aren't the same, our thought processes aren't the same, and we have to move into new ways of being. And so that's what I want to say, is we have to move in to new ways of being in this life. And I am glad you're having a way better day. Oh, you're beautiful. You're all beautiful, and I love you all. I really do. We have to learn to be in new ways of being and to be quiet. All the ancient teachings, one of the first ones is know thyself. One of the second ones is be still and know that I am God. So whatever that God is to you, to me, it's no longer a being in the sky shaking its fist at me that I'm a horrible being. Although I knew that this being loved me, I believe God is a source. God just is. I don't believe God is anything but is a source of who we are. That's why we're made in God's image. We're in God's image because God is. And in order for us to be, God is. God is not a being. God is not a religion. God is not anything other than us. God is within us, the being of who we are. So we go through different states of being. And so if that state of being for me, when I was growing in my Christian walk, it was church. That was something I related to. It resonated with me, going to church. But then I started serving a church and a religion and not God, consciousness, the source of all that is. And so then after the death of my son, I stepped away from church, the social structure of church. Now that's not right or wrong. It was a stepping stone for me. Just like for all of us, there's stepping stones. Nothing we do in life is right or wrong. It just is, because we are an expression of God. And that expression of God is experiencing itself through us in this human journey. Now, this might get kind of deep, but it's a truth for me because I've come to realize this. God is expressing and learning about or experiencing life through us. We are that essence of God. And God, the source, consciousness, whatever it is, created yin and yang, good, bad, beautiful, ugly. All of them have a purpose. The positive and the negative all have a purpose. Everything has a purpose, but we label it. We have to label everything. We have to know everything. We think we have to label and put rules and regulations and philosophy and theology attached to everything in life. And in the process, who do we lose? Ourselves. The knowing of ourselves. The knowing of who we are. God just is. Consciousness, a source. Whatever you feel you want to call it, fine. If it's the tree in your backyard, actually, God is everything. Everything. From the table in your yard or in your house or the fridge, it's a vibration. And we are that. So when you feel like you're dying, sit back and be the watcher. Watch your mind. What is your mind telling you? Just experience the moment. Don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. Be gentle with yourself every day, all day long. There are days I go off the rail and I don't even think twice about it anymore because something's moving in me, something's shifting in me. And I need to let it shift. I need to let it move. And if somebody else thinks it's right or wrong, that's on them. That's their journey. We cannot worry what anybody else thinks of us. And we can let anybody else spin whatever narrative about our life, how we're living it, how we've lived it, any way they want. But it's not our job to worry about what other people think of us. It's not our job to worry about what other people think about us. Step into who you are and know that in this human experience, you're going to have the positives, you're going to have the negatives. But remember, negatives aren't always negative. Because in order for a battery to work, remember, you got to have both. And sometimes this negative's got to give the punch and shut off the positive. And this positive is going to say, all right, well, I'm coming back at you. And gives a energetic jolt to the negative. We've got to move forward. But we also have to be the watcher. Know thyself. You are not the body. You are not your mind. They're all parts of who you are. But you itself are a part of God, consciousness, source. whatever you want to look at it as. Experience it. Don't be afraid when you start dying or you're having that dark night of the soul. Ah, thank you, Brenda, for that. Thank you. And thank you, Tessa. Those dark nights of the soul come when you feel you're nothing, when you feel you've failed beyond measure, when you feel like everything you've done in life has continuously brought you down. But there are no mistakes. What's ever coming into your life is coming into your life to help you grow, to help you align with your spiritual being. So whether it's positive, negative, good or bad, don't allow the dualistic nature of this world to take you out. Stand up. Know that the perfect part of you is right there. So in it, whatever chaos you're going through, you can experience peace, happiness, and a lot of other things. But you have to be willing to be the watcher. And you have to be willing to go through the crunchy parts of life, those areas that are negatives, those areas that want to take you out. Don't let them. But if you feel like watching 8 hours of, I don't know, Beavis and Butthead, just because you need something that is, what does one of my friends call it? Mindless chatter. Something that's not so deep. Sometimes we just need to escape. But we don't have to run physically. We don't. Sometimes we just need to say to ourselves, you need some time alone or that quiet time. And in that quiet time, you'll make it through also. And even if you're struggling in that quiet time, like we all have so many times, feeling alone, like nobody's there, there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. And a lot of people don't understand this. I didn't. I thought they were one and the same, but they're not. Being alone is a quietness, a stillness of just being in your own space. Taking time to get to know you more, taking time to just experience the energy and the space you're in. Being lonely is when you feel you can't be alone. You fear being alone. You fear nobody being there. That's why so many mothers have that empty nest syndrome, because their whole life has been wrapped around their children. Or functions like church or school and school parties and school dances and constantly doing things to get their kids through life. So we get that empty nest syndrome. But even then, you're not alone. Renee, oh my God, my friend, hello, welcome. Wow, what a treat. We're never alone, you guys. We really aren't. We really are never alone, because anybody that's gone before us is still there. In all the ancient teachings, see, heaven isn't above and hell below. We're in both of them right now, and it's whatever we decide to create our world. Heaven and hell are right here, right now. There are a lot of rock songs written about that. It's not above and below. It is all over us. And we are surrounded, the ancient teachings tell us, we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses. And that great cloud of witnesses are those that have been here before and gone. And sometimes it's those that have been here 101 times. I believe in reincarnation. I can't not, because of what I've read in the scriptures, in Revelations of the Bible. It talks about you will go out no more. You will become a pillar. So I think, and I'm just sharing, you don't have to believe what I'm sharing. This is just my life experience. I believe when it says you will go out no more, you will become a pillar in gates of heaven, that if you decide then to come back, it's because you chose. But right now, we might have chose, but sometimes we just get planted wherever we are. You're here for a reason. There are no mistakes. There really aren't. There really aren't. And people attach themselves to religions because as humans, we need things to attach to get through in a lot of respects. We like traditions. We like programs. We like mannerisms that tell us how to live our life. But here's where we end up then losing ourselves because, like I said, I ended up serving a religion and churches and all these different people and forgot about me. I began to die. But now I love that I can do things like this. I can talk to people on Facebook, or I can have a live feed and I can say what I'm feeling and have this camaraderie. I don't have to agree with everybody, and I don't expect them to agree with where I'm at spiritually, because we're all at different levels and we'll all remain at different levels forever and ever. It just is what it is. But I've got things I need to do. I pray blessings on your day, wherever you're at, whatever you're going through, know that it's happening to you. Life is happening for you, not to you. That's what I wanted to say. Life is happening for you. It's not out to get you. Nobody's out to get you. But where you allow your mind to take you is where you'll end up going. And blessings to you, Tessa. Have a great rest of your day. And Renee and Brenda, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy, whoever else is watching. Just enjoy your life and know there's going to be struggles. But you're never alone. You might feel lonely, but you're never alone. Go within, because your greatest answers are going to come from here, not out there. People can support you and help you move forward in life. But if you believe, Lois, hi, now I don't want to go. I want to stay on. Hi, Lois, on. It's so real. It's so real. Life is so real, but don't attach to the dualistic nature of it. And don't judge other people. They're at where they're supposed to be at. That's where they are. Julie Schlosser. God, you guys, I'm going to start crying. This is beautiful. This is really beautiful. It's so good to see your names there. Don't be afraid. For so many years, I was 8 years old, like I said, when I had my first spiritual awakening. And when I told people about it, I was told it's a devil, because I felt something. I felt something that took me outside of my being. I have had out-of-body experiences, more after my son died, and I could feel myself go out of my body and come back in when I would wake up. Life is what it is. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying, but anything I post on here, it's because I've experienced it. I've experienced it, and I've had people say to me, oh my God, somebody that knows what I'm talking about, but I've never dared talk about it because I didn't know. And then we live in the Western world, and guess what? The Western world has oceanfront property on all belief systems and mannerisms of how to believe. No, they don't. No, we don't. We don't. The older I get, the more I realize I know very little. I know very little. And what I do know are truths that resonate with me. And thank you, Lois. Thank you. I just can't get on here and preach a story, but I can get on and share my life experiences and where I've been. And those life experiences and where I've been have brought me to where I am today. And I cannot deny what I've experienced, what I've felt, and what I know. And I have thought often about having once or twice a month just something where people could do spiritual exploration. We started it at a place that's kind of private, and I'm watching these youth say, oh my God, my mom and dad would never accept me if I said this to them, or I've had these things happen. Jody Kruger, welcome. We have to be able to share who we are, our human experience. We can't pretend to be something we're not. That's why the world's in the chaos it's in, because we want them all to fit on this conveyor belt. You get to this age, you do this. You get to this age, you do this. You get to this age, you do this. Nobody's living life and embracing life, because we are so indoctrinated, so culturized, so traditionalized. I'm sorry, I was never and have never been a traditional person. I have never. Okay, somebody's just walking in right now. I'm doing a live feed, so if you don't want to be on, he's going to stay hidden, and that's okay. Fred Beluski, welcome. Jody Kruger, welcome. Thank you for joining, you guys. We are not alone in this world. There are more of us that have these belief systems. And it's not even a belief system. What I'm sharing with you is who we are. It's our natural state. It's our soul being. It is God. It is who we are. It is God. God is. It's not a religion. God is not a religion. God is not a man in the sky. God is not telling us that we are not good enough. God embraces us and awaits for us to open our doors, to let him in, to let it in. I don't even call God a him anymore. God is. God is the source of all, not a religion. And yes, I am considered an ordained minister, but I am not your typical ordained minister. But I will for anybody if they feel the need to be baptized or anything. I do. Because it's who they are. It's where they're at on their spiritual journey. And so many, I'm going to say this, so many churches and religions, the only way you can be baptized, have communion, is if you're a member. Now, I don't remember Jesus putting out a membership cards in his pews, but there were no pews. He was feeding the 5,000, and never did he say, if you're going to come back, if you're going to do this, you need to sign this, you need to, give all your support to me. That's not who we are. We are spiritual beings, and those types of traditions, baptism, marriage, things like that, there's nothing wrong with them. I've been baptized, I've baptized. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But it's not a need, because we already are perfect within who we are. And boy, are we going to mess up? You bet we are. We're going to mess up. We're going to fall short every day, all day long in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a thought going through that monkey mind that likes to play up here and tell us we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're mess ups. Oh God, don't listen to the monkey mind. The monkey mind wants to get you off course. It wants to. Or else somebody's going to come in your life and get you off course. I see all these young kids. I was one too. I see all these young kids getting in relationships and then come to me and say, but I planned on doing this and I was going to do this. Well, then you have to choose. Either it's you or it's a relationship. Because 9 chances out of 10, if you enter a relationship, you're trying to please this person and be part of this person's life or fix them. How many of you women or men thought you were going to make a difference in somebody's life? And so you got in a relationship because of that, only to find yourself in that water again with the drowning victim, drowning yourself. Yeah, it happens all the time. We give our life away to too many people. Now, should we help people out? Should we be an assistance? Yeah. But not to the point where it takes you away from who you are. I was everything. Here's where I'll go with this. You cannot be anything to yourself. You can't be anything to your family, your friends, your community, that you can't first be to yourself. You have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. You have to say yay or nay and say it and mean it and not care if you hurt their feelings. It's not about you. It's about them if they get mad. It's about you when you're truthful with yourself and you have your boundaries set and you stand within them. Boundaries are good things. But what religions do, and I'm just going to say this because they do, they tell us we're supposed to be a martyr. We're supposed to give everything away to everybody else. Okay. If I give everything away, what do I have then? You have to take care of yourself. And then you only assist those who help themselves. You do not take, God helps those who help themselves. Hi, Rainy. God, I miss so many of you. I miss so many of you. I remember I had a major surgery. And my doctor came in before he let me go. And he said to me, now you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. I said, I have 4 children. I have a husband. I've got lots of things I do for my church and da-da-da-da. And he looked at me and he goes, Carrie, God helps those who help themselves. If you are constantly spending yourself for everybody else and are nothing to yourself, you are really not edifying anybody. Guilt is not a virtue either. Religions want us to believe that guilt is a virtue. When in the hell has guilt ever been a virtue? And when has guilt ever made you feel good? I don't know how a virtue can be something that doesn't make you feel good. Edify yourself. Do what you can to assist, but don't give away your whole self for somebody else who isn't even going to appreciate it. Or for others that think, well, the only way you can be a part of our group is if you believe the way we believe, and if you think the way we think, and if you do things the way we do. Do you know what unity really is? And this is what I've found out. Unity is not being in a group of people that think like you. That is community, national psychosis. It's a psychosis of human mind to think that we have to find that group we fit in. Now, are we like-minded? Yes, we are. Are there a lot of people probably watching this going, not sure if I believe this or not. Was I one of those people? Yeah. But I liked what I heard. It resonated with me more than any of my Christian belief systems did. But any Christian belief system I was in moved me forward and brought me to where I am today. So I'm thankful. I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I just can't. I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm thankful for all the faiths I've stepped into. But also, I've been shown that religion does not save us. Even the Bible, the Christian Bible even says, work out your own salvation. Everybody's so busy trying to save everybody else and get their soul saved and get their heart saved and get them to heaven. Well, we're already in heaven and we're already in hell. Whichever we decide to live, it's already here now. It's at hand. The Christian Bible tells us that, but we don't hear this from the pulpit. 9 chances out of 10, we do not hear any of this from the pulpit. The Christian Bible says, heaven, it's at hand. It's here. It's right now. So is hell, right here, right now. The book of John is probably the most amazing book because it's the most esoteric. It's the most spiritual book. And it's not considered a part of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And because they told all the same stories. But the one that wrote John, which even theologians don't even know who wrote half the books of the Bible. And, okay, so let's do a little test here. Since you guys want to hang on a while that. So, 3 wise men. At Christmas time, we celebrate the 3 wise men going to see Jesus. And does it say anywhere in the Bible anything about the 3 wise men? No, it says wise men came from the east. Wise men. Tradition made it 3 because of frankincense, myrrh, and gold. because of the 3 gifts that were given. So, okay, let's make it 3 wise men. Okay. The Red Sea does not talk about the Red Sea in the Bible. In some of them now it might because it's been rewritten so many times. It's actually called the Sea of Reeds is another one. And did it talk anywhere about Peter being hung upside down because he wanted to be more of a martyr for Jesus because Jesus was on the cross like this? No, it doesn't. There's no place. And usually when people were crucified, they were crucified naked, not with the loin on, but that's a Christian tradition too. You see, there's nothing wrong with these Christian traditions or churches. There are over 33 million belief systems and gods in the world today. How are we supposed to know? That was one of the questions my son asked me before he passed away. Mom, out of all the religions in the world, which one is the right one? Which one is the true religion? Oh, right here. Drop now. Are you guys okay? Which one is the true religion? So maybe I'm supposed to get off because it's not wanting to stay up. Stop laughing. No, it is funny actually. I love it. I love it. There is no true religion. If we take away everything that separates us, everything, traditions, theology, philosophy, if we take away everything that we allow to separate us in the world, guess what is? God. God is. God is. It's a state of being, and you choose that state of being. And you're going to go through a lot of them because you're constantly changing. And if you're not, then you're stuck in life. If there's one thing you can depend on, it's change. You know, when Jesus was on the cross hanging, do you remember what he said? What did Jesus say when he was on the cross hanging? Anybody? He said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Hi, my beautiful friend Arlene. Welcome. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And who was he talking about? The spiritual teachers and leaders of the time. They were so caught up in rules and regulations and philosophy and dogma and washing of hands or not washing of hands. Rules, 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 rules. Because it was a way to control the masses. We don't need to control the masses. Jesus hung on the cross and said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Because they didn't. They knew not what they were doing because they were in their minds. And they were trying to fix the world to a way they thought it should be, called the elite. Here is what unity is to me. And I asked this question a while back. What is unity? It's not all of us believing and thinking the same thing. It's being who you are, who you were created to be. Unity is the difference in all of us and accepting the other person the way they are. That's true unity. Because if we're all doing the same thing, that's psychosis, psychological psychosis of the masses. And that's why the government and different organizations try to convince us this is the way things are supposed to do. We are asleep at the wheel. And not all of us. Some of us are a little more awake than others. But we live and are born into this dream state of what the world and society is. And we've been so blindsided. And I am so glad we're moving beyond all this craziness. I'm so glad so much is being exposed nowadays. Because I cannot get on here and do a live feed and pretend. They've even made Jesus out to be something he he didn't all do. Jesus was a great, great, great avatar. And an avatar is an enlightened being, like Krishna, like Buddha. They came into the world. And then and this is why they hung Jesus on the cross, because they said he claimed blasphemy. They hung him on the cross, and it says that in the Bible, not to die for our sins. They hung him on the cross because they said he committed blasphemy. And how did he do that? He said, I and my Father are one. Jesus, yes, is the Son of God. But you know what Jesus says in the Bible? So are you and I. So are you and I. We are all sons and daughters of God. We all are. Nobody sitting with their warm butt on a padded pew every Sunday is the only one. And you know what else the Bible tells us? We are the temple of God. We are the temple of God. Man-made churches, when they came over, they made and built and constructed all these beautiful churches, but that was to honor their belief system. It was to bring their belief system over. It wasn't to say this is the way life is supposed to be. These are my beliefs. These are my experiences. I've faced the devil himself more times than I care to talk about. Because every now and again, those hurts and those pains come up. But I don't blame anybody. I don't. I've made choices. I've lived my life. And I'm okay with every damn one I've made. And I do it again. Because I'm not going to be a rug for everybody to walk all over. It's time to live in your truth, in that which resonates with you. Be strong, be bold. That's what the Bible says. Be courageous. Move beyond. Move beyond. And I don't know how long I've been on, and I'm probably going way over. But I love seeing all your names. I've loved being part of your day. Thank you for jumping on and being with me. But remember, when you feel like you're dying, there's something in you shifting. There's something in you shifting. And ask God, the universe, how much better can this get? Show me what I need to see. Reveal to me what I need to let go of. What ideologies, what am I hanging on to that no longer serves me? Don't ask negative questions. Ask positive questions. And the universe, God will answer you. Show me what I need to let go of. Show me where I can grow. Show me, God, use me. And so many people are fearful of saying this, and I've heard this since I was a little girl, and I'm going to share this and maybe get off. So many people are afraid of giving their all and surrendering to life, because we are life. We are the universe. We are the world. We are. And all ancient teachings teach us, from the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita to the Quran to everything, tell us to surrender to self. So if we have to surrender to self, then that must mean that there's something greater inside us. The God state, the God being, the soul. Self is the ego. When Jesus said, or God said to Moses, I believe it was, to go back and tell, Moses said, well, who am I to say sent me? And God said to him, see, even Moses heard voices. Moses had spiritual guides. Now, with that being said, be careful, because there are a lot of charlatans out there that will just take your money. Be careful. Be careful. But don't be afraid if you hear your inner being talk to you. That is God, or it's your guides, it's your angels. We're all surrounded by them. But when Moses was at the burning bush and God said him to go back, Moses said, well, who am I supposed to say sent me? And God said, say, I am that I am. And there was no comma. What God was saying is, I'm you, Moses. I'm you, Tessa. I'm you, Arlene. I'm you, Renee. I'm you, Brenda. I'm you, everybody that's watching. I am that I am. I've created all that is. I am. It's a beautiful thing when you, and this is what liberation and freedom is, that the Bible and all the other scriptures talk about. Being free to be who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make different choices. That's part of being in this human vehicle and this human experience we're in right now. That's part of our human experience. It's not to try to make ourselves perfect. We already are. But this is our school. This is where we go to school. And when we're in school, this is where we do what needs to be done each and every day. And if we made a choice that might not have been on the up and up, or maybe it was, and oh God, be who you are. Be true to yourself. And if you have to tell somebody, no, I don't want to do this, or no, that's not who I am, or I appreciate it, I never thought of it that way. That's interesting. You can do that. But don't sell your soul to the devil. And the devil is not this thing with a pitchfork standing on one shoulder and God on the other. The darkness, the evils, the shadows, whatever, are real. They are. But what you choose to serve is what you will be. So if you want to live on the dark side and be whatever, do it. If that's you, do it. I'm not judging. If you want to live in the light and you want to, but truthfully, if I can be, we all wane between the two every day. Because we've got this mind, this body, we live in a world that lives and defines as a dualistic nature. Just do you. Don't judge your attitudes. Don't judge your mannerisms. Recognize them, be the watcher, change what you can change, move in areas you can move. But love you. Be gentle with who you are. Embrace who you are. Because everything that takes place is happening for you, not to you. We are not victims. We are a beautiful, beautiful creation. And I'll leave you with this. Jesus said in the Bible, and any scriptures, all you got to do is type in a few of the words and it'll come up. You can just write Bible scripture. But the one that Jesus said online, and it'll bring up the scriptures. They might not all be word for word what I'm saying, but I use a different script. I use a very old Bible. But now I forgot where I was headed with that one. I should have finished my thought first. I usually do that. But just do you. Be who you are. Be who you are. And know some days are going to be better than others. But the one thing we're not taught is that our thoughts and emotions are energies that come through us. And God knows, are they coming from the Akashic records? Many of you might not know what that is, but where are they coming from? All of a sudden you wake up and you think, I hate this person. where'd that come from? Or I think I'll have, this, or I'll do this. Thoughts and emotions are energy also. They're consciousness that's constantly moving through the world. And for us, they're feelings, their emotions, and of our job, of family, and different things also. Just be the observer. Be the watcher. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate you joining me. It was so nice to see so many of you jump on today and be part. Tessa, bless you. Move forward with your day. No, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. We are all beautiful creations. And we live in this prison cell of bones. This is our actual grave. Because that which leaves is eternal life that's already in us. We're living in our grave. But it's a school grave. It's a teaching grave. Who knows what we'll come back by next time? Who knows? Maybe we'll be a Sadhguru. Did you check him out? He's amazing. I love Sadhguru. I use the Jerusalem Bible. When I was in my Catholic faith, I had asked one of the priests what the best Bible was to utilize, Tessa, and he told me the Jerusalem Bible. Now there is the New Jerusalem Bible that's also out, but the Jerusalem Bible, I had to find mine online, and they are full of footnotes. And the beautiful thing about this Bible is the priest that told me about the Jerusalem Bible said that it's when it was interpreted. So here's an important thing to know. Every time the English language interprets something of Hebrew or Latin or anything, the one word or two words it took, the Latin or Hebrew context, syntax, words to write what it needed to say, takes our English language about 5 to 7, if not more, to explain that one word in Hebrew or in, what was the other one? Latin. So this is important to know. So anytime something is translated, I mean, there are so many different contexts of Bibles nowadays. But the Jerusalem Bible, the priest told me, was the closest one to the Latin in the Hebrew language. And it's so full of so many things. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Hey, Miss Kim Urban, welcome. I've only been on for about an hour, but sometimes this mouth just doesn't stop. But welcome. So yeah, I use the Jerusalem Bible, Tessa, and it's got so many great footnotes, and also before every book of the Bible. And here's something to know too, the Bible is not written in chronological order. It's not. And the Old Testament really isn't, the Old Testament is more about wars and different things. And the New Testament, so it was written by the monks. The Bible we have today was written by the Catholic monks. So we have to confirm, and some of the fathers have told me also that where the phrase was that women should not teach or preach in a synagogue or a church, that was added. So some of them on their deathbed have exposed what they put in the Bible to make it more male dominant. So it's sad. And that's why women can't be priests, and why a lot of religions wouldn't allow women to become priests. So the male monks, the monks made it more a male dominant faith and religion, because back in the day in Delphi, where, how many of you know that saying, know thyself, know thyself? It were the priestesses that all the leaders, the spiritual leaders, would go to get answers, to start to understand certain things. They'd go to the female priestesses. And even up in Alaska and a lot of different other cultures, the women are the head of the household, not the men. The women are. And so that's also something that's so important to know. And yeah, check out the Jerusalem Bible. I had to find mine, and it is one thick book. I think I have one upstairs, but it's thick. It's thick, but there's so much more in it because the first people that decided to translate really put their hearts and souls into it and probably had more time to than an agenda that our current religious structures and denominations have added to the teachings. I mean, there's so much in the Christian Bible that I have never ever heard preached from a pulpit. And that is very esoteric. And when I say that, it's spiritual. They want more the do's and don'ts. They want more the be good, don't be bad. I'm sorry, but if I wouldn't have made and failed in some areas of life that I have, I would never be where I am today. And my failures, I have never seen anymore, I should say. I don't see anymore as something I did wrong. I didn't. It was supposed to happen. Life is here to move us forward. It's happening for us, not to us. Tessa, go in your day. Much love to you, to all of you watching. Thank you for joining me. Who knows when I'll get on again. It's just, I just can't get on anymore and not say what I know and what I've experienced spiritually. And I am finding that I am not alone. I'm not alone. And it's just a lot of people are afraid to speak up because they've been so indoctrinated, or they've been raised in the church, or they have these different things. I will tell you right now, that youth group I am working with right now have shared things with me that really are enlightening and beautiful. So God bless you. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you for joining me. Namaste.